The conversation continues. Hi, this is Ralph Lewis. Join me this Thursday for another great interview.
STEM Carib 2023.
We have a 3-day event running from November 1 to 3. Everybody, all ages in the Cayman Islands, come out and to learn about STEM. We have breakout sessions, which are hands-on interactive activities for those at the primary, secondary, and tertiary level. They get to build robots, they get to play with liquid nitrogen, they're going to be doing AI, they get to do lionfish dissection. It's an amazing event. We're able to engage the students, provide all the materials they need for the session, and that we do not have to charge anybody to walk through the door.
I just encourage everybody to
consider how our society changes and how our young people can help to drive that change.
Remember to like and share Cayman Times Facebook and YouTube pages for your reminder to another great interview this Thursday at 7:30 a.m. Hello, I'm Ralph Lewis and welcome to Cayman Conversation, now streaming on Cayman Times Facebook and YouTube channels. The incredible, well-supported STEM Carib conference at UCCI is back, and anyone interested in science, technology, engineering, and maths should head straight to UCCI on Friday, the 3rd of November. This week, we spoke with Antoinette Gayle, Assistant Professor, and Tracey Hargrave, Dean of STEM and Health, to get an overview of the upcoming STEM Carib conference. Good morning and welcome to Cayman Conversation. It's our pleasure to have with us Antoinette Gayle and Tracey Hargrave. And today we're going to speak about the STEM Carib conference. Good morning, ladies, and welcome.
Morning.
Good morning, Ralph.
Okay, great. Antoinette, can you give me a little outline of what this STEM Carib conference is all about?
So STEM Carib 2023 is being run under the theme Game Changer, Time to Level Up. And at UCCI, we thought that this, with so many things changing, especially since COVID, it's nice for us to consider how our society changes and how our young people can help to drive that change, as well as to adjust with the change. So we have a 3-day event running from November 1 to 3, and that will invite everybody, all ages in the Cayman Islands, to come out and to learn about STEM, that's science, technology, engineering, and math, and the impact it can have on the changes that are taking place in the Cayman Islands. So we have 3 days of packed activity, which we can talk about in a few minutes.
Okay. And this program is run by UCCI. And Tracey, can you tell me why UCCI is getting involved in STEM? And what does STEM stand for?
So STEM, I'm Dean of STEM and Health. So STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics. And we have run a STEM conference in the past for many years. We stopped over COVID for obvious reasons. And now we're very excited to be picking back up again with our STEM conference. It's, as Antoinette said, it's a packed program with many, many different breakout sessions and exciting speakers. So Antoinette, I'm sure will give you a good overview of the speakers and the breakout sessions.
Okay, thank you. Antoinette, back to you. Give us an idea of who this is catering to and the different segments and so forth.
So the conference caters primarily to the young students in the Cayman Islands. And when I say young, we're all students and we're all young as we feel, but primarily for our students up to tertiary level. We do have breakout sessions that are geared towards engaging them in the STEM activities, but we also have activities for the community. We have breakout sessions, which are hands-on interactive activities for those at the primary, secondary, and tertiary level. And that's designed based on their particular level. And we do have plenaries. We actually have 3 amazing keynote speakers, one of whom is Dr. Martha Williams, who was born in Cayman Brac, has worked in NASA for decades, and is currently retired and re-employed as a scientist in Florida. We are so excited to have her come and talk to us about her journey from Cayman Brac to NASA and back. And we are really, really looking forward to hearing how she can inspire our STEM students and those of us who are not as young anymore in the Cayman Islands. We also have 2 additional plenary speakers. We have Aditi Joshi from Google and Vanessa Slowey, who used to be at Digicel. So we have 3 amazing women lined up for those particular plenary sessions. Anybody can attend those sessions.
Okay, great. And they're workshops, or they're just sessions where you sit down and somewhere give lectures? Are there workshops?
So as instructors, we know that they're sitting and doing lectures don't necessarily work well. So all of these are interactive sessions. The plenaries are more formal, but the breakout sessions that are specifically geared towards students, which will happen on Wednesday and Thursday, are going to be interactive. The students actually get to engage in material, to get their hands dirty. Don't worry, we do have soap and water for them to clean before they get back to school, but they will get to get their hands dirty, to engage in the sessions. They get to build robots. They get to play with liquid nitrogen. They're going to be doing AI. They get to do lion-fish dissection. It's an amazing event that's going to have them interacting with all of these particular activities.
Great.
Yes, people need to go to the UCCI website to have a look and see the schedule. That would be the place to go to sign up and to see the schedule and see what they fancy going to, because there are so many different activities planned.
So why is this so important to our young people? And you said some of the older ones. You give me an idea why it is so important. What can we benefit from it?
I think everybody can benefit from a decent STEM education. There's such a wide range of different things that no matter what you're interested in, I think there's something for you. We've even got somebody talking about STEAM, putting the art in STEM. So if you think that STEM really isn't your thing, maybe you should come and have a look and see whether you think it actually is your thing. And there's so many different things. We've got navigating with the stars, various, many lionfish dissections are always very, very popular.
Yes, and just talking about education, when I grew up in school, we had maths and English and geography and those types of subjects. Now I'm hearing about STEM and all the other. I'm asking, why didn't I get exposed to those type of topics or subjects in the past? Do you have an idea or a comment on that?
I think you probably did get him.
Okay.
You did get those topics in the past. It just wasn't packaged in such a nice way. I think there's a lot more going on now, and young people have got a lot more available to them, especially with events like this, which are completely free that they can turn up to. And the schools are all involved, and they're sending many of their students, coming along with many of their students. So students have much more to be involved in now. Well, as I said, we have put this on for many years in the past, but we're so pleased to be back now. So give everybody the opportunity to experience the many different things so that they can see what there is that they could be involved in.
Okay. Can I ask you about robotics? I've seen that recently there's been a big tournament, and I think one of our neighboring islands won the trophies. And I know that some of our Cayman students are actually competing in those. What's robotics? Is it about building robots or designing robots? Do you actually get to play with robots and so forth?
So I'm not the robotics expert, but we have robotics at the STEM conference. Dr. Slated from UCCI will be running the robotics sessions. He is, closer to an expert than I am. But the robotics that we're going to be looking at the STEM conference involves students understanding how robots work, getting the chance to build robots, and then actually engaging those robots by programming them to get them to carry out particular functions. It allows them to be able to see how the types of instructions and how important it is to send correct instructions in the correct way to ensure that the robots actually carry out the tasks. In addition to that, we'll also have sessions on artificial intelligence where the students will get to see how the robotics and the artificial intelligence work well together to carry out functions. Now, the thing with robotics is that a lot of our students, you've indicated that some of these you didn't get engaged, you weren't engaged with in school, and neither was I. One of the reasons why we want to, and we continue doing this STEM conference every year, is because we understand that not every child is going to be able to get exposed to some of these activities. Mm-hmm. So whereas in school they're doing science, they're doing technology, they're doing engineering, they're doing mathematics, they're not doing them together in an integrative way. And so pulling all of this together in one conference, in one place, shows our young people that, hey, all of this works together. All of this is integrated. You're going to be looking at robots. You need to know how to program those robots. You need to know how to build them. You need to know how the parts work well together. You need to understand engineering. And you have to know how to communicate with the robot. And that's where the A in STEAM comes in this year, where we're including that. So they will get to build robots. And there's a competition. And for those who actually enter the competition, there is a prize. They get to carry home their own programmable robot. So, Ralph, you might want to enter that competition. It's just for students.
No, okay. Well, you never know. I might just surprise you. I remember this conversation. We spoke about STEM last year. Time really goes fast when you had the other, right?
It was a
How
STEM
was the
camp.
turnout? Yes, how was the turnout? That was summer camp, yes. How
Yeah.
was the turnout?
Ralph, we're always really upset in the summer because within 2 days our spaces fill up and we do not have enough space to accommodate everybody. The turnout for UCCI STEM events has always been amazing. Currently, we have hundreds of students already registered for this STEM conference. I don't know where we're going to put them, but we'll figure it out. We have
All
space for
right.
A
everybody,
Well,
so
work in
keep coming.
progress at the moment to try and place people in what they would like to go
yes.
to.
And this conference happens every year. So if I'm unable to register this year, will there be one happening next year that I can start to plan for?
So the hope is that we'll have one next year, but we were planning to have one in 2020 and 21 and 22, and COVID said no. So we are planning to do one next year, but we're hoping to get through this event first before we start looking at that. But for those who might not be able to register to come to their plenaries and breakout sessions on November 1st and 2nd, on November 3rd, we have pretty much an open day. There's a Rotary Science Fair presentations where those students who won a prize at the Rotary Science Fair will have the chance to come in and present their work to the public and to other students. And we have a fun afternoon which starts at about 12:30 in the afternoon on Friday, November 3, where anybody can walk in. No registration required. You can come in, engage with robots, engage with liquid nitrogen, look through the microscopes, talk with the STEM experts, and just have a whole lot of fun. Lots of
There's an
prizes and
awful lot
giveaways.
going on a Friday afternoon in the
Yes.
STEM conference. It's
And
really worth coming on down.
Yeah. Last time we had this, we
Thank you.
had close to 1,000 people coming through UCCI on that Friday afternoon.
Wow. That's on November 3rd.
That's the
That's
third.
November
Yeah.
3rd.
That's about 2 weeks from this week, from
Just
today,
about.
from this weekend. Very
Yep.
good. Okay. Do you have sponsors?
Yes, we do. We have an amazing group of people and companies who have decided that this is worth it. Every single year, we have the sponsors coming in and saying, we want to engage with this. Our primary sponsors this year, we have the Ministry of Education, Caribbean Utilities Company, CUC, Enterprise Cayman, Health City Cayman Islands, and we do have some smaller sponsors, Resembed and the Caribbean Desalination Association. So we have sponsors, and these sponsors ensure that we're able to engage the students, provide all the materials they need for the session, and that we do not have to charge anybody to walk through the door. This conference is fully sponsored without us having to ask any of our participants to contribute at all.
Okay. Do you need any more sponsors, or are they readily available?
I think we could always do with more sponsors. If anybody would like to sponsor the upcoming STEM conferences for coming years, we would willingly accept more sponsorship.
Okay. And the sponsorship is in financing or providing expertise or equipment. Or what form should the sponsorship come in?
I think we would accept financial sponsorship. We would accept anybody that would like to come and provide a breakout session or can show their equipment. We do have booths available if anybody would like to have a booth for the Friday after the fun day.
Okay, great. If there are any questions regarding the STEM conference, who can we contact? Or what email or what telephone number can we call?
So the information on the STEM conference can be found at the UCCI website, including contact details. That's www.ucci.edu.ky. There is information on all the speakers. There is a schedule provided, and we update that as it changes. There are registration links for primary level, for secondary level, and for those who are from tertiary level or from the community who would like to register. Their telephone numbers and email addresses are on the website in case anyone have any questions, but they can also reach out directly to me, and that's agayle@ucci.edu.ky.
And I may have missed this at the beginning, but what's your role, Antoinette?
So currently I'm an assistant professor in chemistry and biochemistry, but I'm also the STEM coordinator. So I'm the one you will see on campus running around, making sure everything is running okay on the day it is. But we do have an amazing team that's working to develop the STEM conference and to execute it for the students.
Miss Antoinette is a complete powerhouse when it comes to the STEM conference and the STEM camp, keeping us all in line.
Okay, and we have about 5 minutes left, and I have a few questions regarding if I attended a STEM camp and I'm graduated, how could I use my training in the workforce? What can you say are the opportunities if I have STEM training or STEM qualifications?
So the activities that we provide at the STEM camp and conference are not enough training to use necessarily in the workforce. But what it does, Rav, is it allows our students to see how can I use STEM in the workforce? How does STEM apply? And what potential career paths can I engage in with respect to STEM, whether it is that they're STEM adjacent or they're core STEM areas. The reality is that we use science, technology, engineering, and math in our everyday lives, and being able to expose our students to the fact that you are doing this every day and you can do this in different aspects of your life is one of the main goals of this STEM conference and the STEM camp that we run at UCCI.
We do encourage all our presenters for the different breakout sessions to explain what they do for a living and how STEM is helping them with their role. So there will be a bit of career information provided in the different breakout sessions.
Yes. Yes, I think this that time is time. This time of year is timely for this conference, especially in light of the recent graduations. I attended one last week, and there's so many graduates coming out of school, and they're gonna need things to do, or they need to get exposed to these types of opportunities and careers and so on. I think it's just timely, and I can see that definitely by the time we have release this broadcast, that you may have gotten quite a good turnout, maybe sold out, or may have all the spaces filled. But I'm sure that we probably can encourage you to add more spaces or have another conference sooner than later, because I think there are many people and many people or kids who would find it very interesting, and I like it. I think books are a little boring sometimes. I like doing things with my hands, and that's how we operate these days. Technology is always there. Any final words before we say goodbye?
Yes, for those primary level students who are unable to make the conference, we actually do have a series of videos that we're going to be sending to the schools. This was done by the Traveling Natural History Museum in the UK. They were actually here last conference, and they went to every single school, including those in the sister islands, to engage the students and to do hands-on activities with them. They've pre-recorded some videos, so we're going to be pushing those out primarily to the primary level. But if there are secondary schools who are interested, we'll be sending them too. And it's really good to be able to get the students who are not able to come to the conference, because everybody can't, to at least still be able to engage with some of the material. We have worksheets for them, we have videos for them, so they are still able to engage with this STEM material to a certain extent.
And will there be a mini conference in the BRAC?
There isn't a mini conference planned in the BRAC, but we do invite those from the BRAC to come. We're actually looking for sponsorship right now for our BRAC students to come over for the conference, as they've done for every year since. So we do have some high school students.
In the past, BRAC students have attended the conference and have got sponsorship to come over.
So we're working on getting them here for the conference.
And any final words, Tracey?
I just encourage everybody to go onto the UCCI website and register if possible. I mean, we will, if people would like to just wander into the conference, that would be fine, but we would prefer if people could register so we have an idea of numbers, especially if they're going to be bringing classes. We really would like the schools to register if they're going to be bringing a load of students.
Yes. And the Friday event on the 3rd is open to everyone.
And the Friday event on the 3rd is open to anybody. Yes, please come along down.
So
I'll put in my diary, and I hope to see you then. Yes.
Right. Check out the schedule on the UCCI website. You'll see which events are free and open to the public, which events require registration. You'll see which ones are for the primary schools or just for open for the public. November 1 through 3 at the UCCI campus.
Excellent. Well, Antoinette and Tracey, thank you very much for spending this time with me and talking about the UCCI STEM conference. What's the name again? You mentioned it.
STEM Carib 2023.
Game changers.
STEM Carib 2023. Yes. And I really appreciate you, enlightening our viewers and listeners. And as we mentioned, to our viewers and listeners, if you'd like to comment or ask questions, please put them on our Facebook or YouTube feeds. Ladies, thank you very much and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much for having us.
We thank our guests and listeners for joining us today and invite you to add your comments and questions on our social media feeds. Remember to like our Facebook and YouTube page, invitation to our next conversation, and also pick up the free Caymanian Times newspaper on Wednesdays and Fridays. Cayman Conversation is a production of the Caymanian Times newspaper. Until next time, have a great weekend and be Cayman kind.